Oh, buddy. Oh, no, you dropped it. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, he's got two. He's got two. He's got two little hot dogs. Oh, they dropped the hot dog. No. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be joining you from the top of this really tall rack. So these are divided Betta tanks. We're going to be setting up two of these today. And they're both going to have very different themes and colors. But what I really want to do with this, which I haven't necessarily done this before, is using a base layer. So this is foreign base laterite powder from Brightwell. I hope you can see me. I'm kind of like leaning precariously on a step stool. But I really want to use kind of a big bag of this. Look how much stuff's in here. It's like this really fancy powder. And so we're going to do some base layers on these. We're going to do base layers of this. I have a bit of crushed coral. And then I'm going to do a mix of ADA and fluval stratum. I'm not going to pull those up because it'd take me like 5 minutes to get back down. And I'll do that, and then I'm going to cap all these with sand. It's going to be a very complex lasagna of a fish tank. Yeah.
Lasagna.
Lasagna. I hope you guys really enjoyed that time lapse. These were really fun tanks to set up. Now, these aren't display tanks. These aren't supposed to be like the most beautiful aquascapes ever. These are supposed to be functional over everything else. It's about what's best for the fish, but also about, what can I set up that's very easy for me to maintain? Because, with a lot of bettas, we have, a few more of these tanks to set up. I want these tanks to be very easy and simple to just get through all the maintenance in a very quick process. Which is why we ended up going with box filters and just sponge filters. There's a reason why in the front right section of all these tanks there's these little piles of rocks, and that is just so that it's easier for us to fill up the tank without disturbing the substrate. Now, I tried to work it into the design, make sure make it look as appealing as possible, but there are some limitations that come with that. Now, I am really curious to know which tank is your favorite, and let us know in the comments. Aquarium number 1 with the black sand, the lava rock, Aquarium number 2 with the lighter sand and the red rocks and driftwood. So yeah, let us know your vote in the comments and tell us why you chose that tank. Now about the fish. So these guys are all ones that we've had for some time. Some of them are getting quite old. Others have kind of developed some weird issues with some of their fins. Some nip them occasionally, and there's some of that stuff going on. And hopefully by putting them in these tanks, we're hoping we can get a bit more time out of them. Some of these we're going to try to breed, some maybe not. I just want to briefly touch on that. So if you see some of these guys with some torn fins and stuff like that, we know, and we're trying to fix that, and that's kind of why they're in these tanks. Lastly, I'll touch a bit on why we're doing these setups the way we're doing it. We'll probably make this its own video at some point, but the gist of it is to try to keep these fish divided in one big tank so it's much easier to maintain the water column. Now, we could put each of these in their own 5-gallon tanks or whatever, and they'd have the same amount of space, but we'd have to individually filter all those tanks. So hopefully by having just 2 filters in this setup, we can minimize the amount of energy cost and also make it easier to maintain the water. And these Life with Pets dividers hold up really well. I'm pretty impressed with these, especially when you put in a thicker layer of substrate. They lock in place pretty good. I could silicone these, which if I feel like I need to, maybe I'll do just the edges a little bit later, but we'll see. I'm pretty happy with the way it is right now. And I'm really excited to see how these tanks do, how they mature, how the plants grow in, what plants do really well, which ones don't. The goal is to really propagate as many as we can so that we can bring them to shows, or if we start selling more fish online, we can offer some plants in addition to all the bettas that we breed. Thank you all so much for watching to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, let us know, leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to drop a comment with which tank is your favorite, because I'm really excited to see which everyone likes. Now, we have a whole bunch of other projects in the works, especially with our bettas. We really got to get more spawns going this year. Now that we have a lot of our systems built, it should be a much more streamlined process, and I'm really excited to see what we can get this year. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.